What up, ladies? What up? What up? I see y'all beat the crowd here. How you doing, Crystal and Western Ave? What's going on? My two favorite moderators that I like to clown the most. What's up with y'all? Where everybody at? Did they sign out for the night? But anyway, the Goob Takeover was a success. Had a good time, had fun. No regrets of going over there. Definitely no regrets on winning that bet. And hopefully we help Goob out a little bit. Thanks to Slick for coming on tonight. That was cool. Thanks to Slick's girl and Goob's girl. That was cool that they stuck around. James Hudson, Scholar, what's up, man? For all of those that didn't subscribe on the Blue Channel or haven't got a notification for the skip video, I want to give y'all a little teaser. Let y'all see what y'all missing.
My name is Skip Townsend.
Founder of?
I'm founder of and CEO of Second Call, community-based organization.
When did you start that organization?
Me and Kenny Smith, calling Big Monster, we started that in 2006, like March 2006.
And what was the reason for this organization?
I just wanted to stop the violence between the 20s and 30s. It was simple as that, and with the schoolyard. So I wanted to do that, and Monster was making a sandwich, and I kept saying, man, let's be Unity 4. Because I just, fell in love with Looney and what he was doing because I watched him grow up. Looney from Mansfield, and he was part of the American Unity 1. So I'm like, man, let's call Bo. Let's make it happen. But my thought was we just was going to stop the shooting between the 30s and 20s, schoolyards and 20s.
Man, it was a really good interview. At least I thought it was a very good interview. Filled with a lot of pictures and good history, a lot of gems being dropped. I thought it was really good, man. I thought it was really, really good, really interesting interview.
Mercy, but living in the 60s?
Yes, until I got into a fight. So now, one of these years, 1980, my mother sent me to San Diego. I got to San Diego. I'm in Lincoln High School, and within 3 days, I had a fight and I got kicked out. So I went to Sweetwater in Chula Vista. Did like a semester there, and I was stealing cars, and I ended up going to jail. And when I went to jail, when I got out, my mother wanted to make sure that I wasn't in no kind of issues, and she sent me to my father's mother's, and that's how I ended up on Washington.
Okay. So, what year did we land on Washington?
That was probably the end of 1980. Probably like around, somewhere October, November 1980.
Okay, so we're on Washington. Do you know any of the history of the 20s?
Yes, sir.
As far as founders and things of that nature?
Yes, sir.
You want to share that with us?
Well, I mean, before there was anything, there was the Hoover family. The Blood Alley. So there's a lot of guys who were the Hoover families that was at Hoover Park, like 24th Street, 25th Street, between Vermont and Hoover. So I know a lot of them, but what happened after that, there's a karate family, Karate Reggie, Red, their brother Bobo. There's a whole bunch of them that was really the founders of the 20s. There's another Skip Pearson. There's Franco. A lot of people think Franco from the Jungles because he, lived over there for years.
Man, I'm telling you, it's a good interview, man. Lots of pictures, a lot of historic information in that one video. The rest of the interview is pretty much gonna stay at a peak. So, pretty good interview. You would think, at least I would think, that Skip Townsend wouldn't be one of the best interviews, but he actually, to me, man, this is a really good interview. I mean, dude knows his history. He just hasn't had the right people bring it up out of him. And he's done so many interviews. He's so seasoned and so calm and answers the question directly and has the answers to each question. Really good interview. Matt Ronald's still locked up, bro. But man, it's a good interview from Skip, man. Shout out to Skip Townsend. Unfortunately, Mike Marks, it's gotten to the point where I have to try to protect my content because everybody steals it. So I have to watermark and put music, use my backgrounds. I have to try to continue to be innovative and try to protect my work because everybody's stealing it, and they will delete the logo instead of leave the logo on there, and they won't say where it came from, won't give me a link or anything. So I have to do all these different things to protect my work, and it really don't make sense. You would really like to share this with the world, which we had done for so long, but just to see people keep stealing this stuff, you can't sue nobody for using this stuff on YouTube. You know what? When I first started doing videos, I used to get people in the hood and from different hoods, my hood and different hoods, always talking about threatening to sue me, and they have all this, these lawyers, and they have all this college education and good with a pen, and they're gonna sue me, and I'll be like, hurry up! Can you hurry up and sue me? Because you're only going to get a camera and a computer. The camera's not expensive and the computer's old. Hurry up and sue me. So I look at it like it's the same damn thing. What I'm going to do? Sue these dudes that's stealing a YouTube video? Like, what are they going to have? They obviously don't have a camera because they don't go out and get their own videos. What the hell I'm going to sue them for? Right? Ain't no dude with no real money actually, you know what I'm saying, actually stealing a Kelmac video. You feel me? Oh, I used to always tell people to steal my identity, bro. I swear to God, eyeball, I would tell people, hurry up and steal my identity. People would be like, I could fix your credit. And I know they want to steal my Social Security. I say, here, take my Social Security. Here. And they think they came up. No, you can't do nothing with my info, man. I've been the worst. I've been the worst, man. I used to, when I was young, my family members used to use my name. So I would get all these suspended license, all these different tickets that I didn't know nothing about, right? It used to piss me off because I was trying to make a decent living and a crooked one too. And when you're making a crooked living, you don't need to get pulled over by the police for having a suspended license, right? So I thought that was the worst thing in the world. But when my credit got messed up and I went to prison, man, what do you need? You can have my license number, my birth date, my social. You can have it all. Like it can't get no worse for me. Matter of fact, you might go to jail using my name because I got outstanding warrants and the FBI watching me, the ATF is watching me, the sheriff is always watching me, the LAPD is always sweating me. Go on, take my name. Maybe you could go do some time for me and clear up my name. But yeah, man, I mean, but I'm what I don't see a future in suing people on YouTube stealing a few minutes or a few seconds of my videos. I don't see that. And any rich people, any rich documentary people, they'll get at me. They'll contact me. They'll use the right avenues to contact me and ask, can they use or buy footage? I don't think nobody with no money stealing Mac video. Half these dudes don't even speak good English, man. And I'm not joking. If you go look at some of the dudes stealing my content, they don't even speak good English. And they won't show their face. I don't think that's a good lawsuit. You know what I mean? Motherfucker be in court tomorrow. No comprende. You know Mac video. No ese Mac. No comprende. Me no understand. Asian dudes in other states stealing my videos and shit. I don't even know what the hell they be saying. I'll be like, what the fuck? Like, you don't even speak good English, nigga. Translate that shit. They already copyrighted. All my shit's copyrighted. In fact, YouTube do their own base copyright. Once they get the information, that's how you get them knocked down from other YouTube spots. Then I go through CD Baby. CD Baby and BMI and ASCAP, they all got my back. They'll let me know when somebody's using all my shit. They get notified and they let me know right away. You feel me? Get 'em Jank probably using my granddaddy's social security number and he been dead for decades. You pull out Get 'em Jank social security card, man, that shit come up like Kev Mac the first. Nigga, my great granddaddy that I never met, his social security card is still being used, man. I mean, come on. Cynthia Nunn up in here, where she at? Miss Cynthia Nunn, did I miss her? Shout out to Cynthia Nunn, that's my partner, man. Kev Mac like button touch on the way in. Good looking out, Black Warrior Spirit. Man, I have fun over at Goob's channel. If y'all have fun over there, type yes for me, please. What up? Speak on it with Cynthia Nunn 100. Cynthia Nunn 100. I heard the hell out of that. I tried, Kev, but his credit. The man been dead 30 years. His credit still messed up, Jake. That's funny. That's cool, man. I'm glad we pumped Goob's channel up today. Everybody say yes. That's real good, man. Too bad Sir Uncle Buck can't type in the comment section over here. I know he would have something negative to say, but that's why he ain't a part of us. Not over here. Will the books be printed or digital? The books are still digital because they, for whatever reason, they locked up on me. They wouldn't let me take my book down. It's digital, but I think the book itself is so lovely. I didn't show y'all the picture with Mike Tyson, right? Me and Iron Mike. Iron Mike's a beast, man. You know, it's a funny story about that picture with Mike Tyson, man. I told Mike, because I used to see Mike all the time. Barbershop, hanging out, smoking weed, on the block. I would always see Mike, right? So I see him walk in the casino one day. I'm like, Mike, what's up, man? Take a flick with me. Mike said, okay, just hold on. So I say to myself, y'all know the type of dude I am, right? So I'm like, man, Mike bullshitting. Like, I ain't got time for no bullshitter. So I go sit down, I'm watching the game, I'm betting on a basketball game, so I'm all the way into the game, 100%. I got everybody blocked out except the TV. And I hear people, hey, man, hey. And I hear Mike Tyson, hey, guy. And I'm not even tripping. So somebody come and he hit me, say, hey, Mike Tyson wants you. I'm like, oh, shit, Mike Tyson want me? And I turn around, and Mike is sitting there like he's angry, he's mad. So I get up. He said, you still want this picture or what? Yeah, I want this picture. He said, find somebody to take a picture. I said, I don't know nobody up in here, Mike. Let's just take a selfie. He said, no, get somebody to take the picture. And then a couple people volunteered to take the picture for us. And we go outside, and I grab his hand like that, and Mike squeezes my hand. And he slides his hand up on my wrist. He don't like shaking hands and shit, maybe because of the germs or something. But Mike had a firm, tough grip, man. Like, I want to go down on one knee, like, nigga, you squeezing my hand. But I had to be a man and let him know, nigga, yeah, I'm taking this picture, fool. Good looking out for calling. So Mike kept it real, man. Mike came to get me, and Mike got mad at me because I wasn't ready to take a picture with him. That shit was crazy. Everybody started talking about it afterwards, like, man, why Mike do you like that? Why he squeeze your hand? Why Mike grab your arm? Everybody was paying attention to every little detail. I was just like, shit. I didn't think Mike was serious. I thought Mike was bullshitting, pushing me off. You know what I'm saying? But he actually came to the casino to talk and sit with somebody. And when he was done, he came looking for me. Yeah, that was dope. That was cool of Mike, though. Matter of fact, like I've been so busy, y'all. It's so much I need to do on here for you guys. I got some stories. I don't even remember what stories it was, but when I lay down tonight, I'll think about what stories I want to tell y'all. I also want to go to the gambling thing, give you guys the picks for this weekend. But for tonight, I enjoyed the takeover on the Goob show, and I'm damn sure glad I found these books, man. I can't believe I found these books, man. That is crazy. Oh, I even talk about busting Benoit Benjamin's girl. I think he was on the Clippers at the time. I just didn't remember all the stories I put in this book, man. It's crazy. But I'm glad, man. I want to put this in a frame, dog. Oh my goodness. Bring back a lot of great memories, man. Put it all on the Blue Channel. And them fight stories are fire and still good content. Well, you know what? The good thing about those fight stories is they actually do well on this channel. So it's like it's really no need to throw over there on the Blue Channel. Unless you're saying for the membership only. But I think those short videos are still fit for the general public. You feel me? I don't too much dig the boxing, man, right now, but yeah, I was hard on Benoit, but he's actually a good dude. He's actually a good friend. He owed me money though. The nigga owed me probably a few hundred, but he's still a good friend. Do you think you had lost all your copies of the book? No, I didn't. I just never even thought about where they was at. Never even wondered where I put the books because I ordered them and they came in an Amazon box and they were still in that box. So I actually opened the box like, what's in here? Thinking it was probably one of the microphones because I bought several microphones back in the day. So I open it up and I see the books. I'm like, oh shit, these books is right here. And the reason why I was so shocked is because several people asked me where could they purchase this book, a hard copy. And I'm like, shit, they off the market. Maybe I'll put them back up one day. But shit, I didn't know I already had some. So they're definitely classics. There's some classic stories in there. And if you like women, The Fast Life is cool. If not, then it's not the book for you, though. But it talks about how I was still sprung. That's the title, Still Sprung, because I was still sprung. And has the gun on there for a reason because of the robberies. I talk about gambling with Rodney Harrison, cornerback and safety for the New England Patriots. Talks about getting arrested for gambling and me being at the Mirage Casino when the owner's daughter had got kidnapped, Steve Wynn's daughter. That's when the Mirage had first opened. So I was one of the ones that opened up the Mirage back in '89. The guy from 30s who looked like Ice-T is the best fight story Kev Mac ever told. Good looking out. That thing got a lot of views, man. I wasn't expecting that many views, but the good thing about it is that guy from Inglewood Family is well known, him and his brother. And so a lot of people tuned in to see that. And I meet people on the street and they tell me the dude who I talked about in the story sent them the video. So that's always a good thing when I talk about somebody and they actually still live and actually remember the story and appreciative that I even put the story out there. Number one, what's up? Good looking out, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, it did a lot of views, man. A lot of views. My low Kev really hyped about this book. Go ahead and release it, edit it. I'm gonna go ahead and release it without question. I'm not gonna have them just sitting here collecting dust. Like I said earlier, I'll probably keep 2 copies I may have gave one out already. So they probably leave me with 7 copies that I'll do something with, give away, sell. I don't know, but definitely I think it's a classic book at this point. That fight story's on this channel, bro. It's on this channel. I may have exaggerated how long the fight was, man. I may have put some extra minutes on it. But when you're watching a real good fight, it seems so long, right? Like this wasn't no 2-hitter quitter. This was a long drawn out fight. But I still probably added a couple minutes unconsciously, right? Because after I thought about it, I'm like, fights don't last that long, but it was a good long fight. It was good fighting too. Whatever happened, happened. Ball game, yeah, I might put them on my website, man. Probably next week or in a few days, I'll add it to the website. Mike Marks, good looking out. Still super chatting. Got my memberships on both channels. Rich nigga shit. Good looking out, Mike Marks. That's called a loyalist, man. I appreciate that. Skunk Dog, my partner Skunk Dog, man. You don't remember that story? You may have missed it. I wonder if I could pull it up real quick. Let me see. It did so many numbers, bro. I don't know if I could pull it up. I probably could, though. I'm not going to even try, though. You could give a book away for the winner of KevMac Trivia, just a random thought. Yeah, I thought about giving one away, maybe 2 away. But I also thought about including this in the memberships on the Blue Channel for the people that ordered the memberships. I was thinking about putting this in there because it's only a few people. Might be about 7 members, three to 7. I know it's 3 for sure, 4, but it might be 7. So I was thinking about actually sending them the book. Feel me? Yeah, you'll find it, Babyface. I don't know the name of it, but it's just type in KevMac fight story or KevMac best fight story, something like that. You're gonna be a remember or you're gonna be a member? A remember? We don't want to remember you, man. That's like you passed, like you gone, you left us, you're no longer here with us. We want you to be a member, not a remember, brother. Hey man, some grapes, a lot of grapes. Well, not a lot, but some grapes showed up, man, to the funeral. I know Benzo Ed, Tiata, um, can't think of who the other one was, but I know at least 3 grapes showed up. At least 3. They represented for the homie. Kevman, who had the better physique, Tookie or Big Miz? Tookie, without question, Tookie. But Big Miz had a nice little physique. Big Miz used to always wear his thermals. So you could see his definition. You couldn't really see his muscles. Because Miz was always hiding his muscles. He'd wear the state jacket on over, so you couldn't see his muscles. But Miz worked out faithfully. Miz was strong. He could back arm. Shit, Miz, when I got with Miz was back arming what I could lift. Miz told me, come work out with me, cuz. I work out by myself. Work out with me, cuz. I'm cool ass Miz from 9-0. And Ghost is my homeboy. So I went and worked out with Miz, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute, let me put some boom in it. I'm like, that's what I'm lifting, Miz. I'm benching that. I can't back arm that shit. Miz thought I was joking. Miz, that shit weigh as much as me, nigga. What? So I had to slowly break over, join a little car, that I could hang with. Then I got my weight up, got my muscles up a little bit, you know what I mean? Got my strength up a little bit. I wasn't trying to work out with Miz, man. He was too strong for me, man. Took you a Monson? Monson, without question, Monson. Kev, any knowledge as to why Zach 48 is the only Raymond Washington biographer who was authorized by the Raymond Washington family? He was a veteran cop, white man, etc. I don't know if I can really speak to that because I don't know. I can offer an opinion. My opinion would be they probably wanted Raymond's story out and was promised some money, which they didn't see no money. And I guess the book did well, but like, I think I got more praise for a Raymond Washington article than he got for the Raymond Washington book. In fact, the dude, the cop or whoever wrote it was so cold. He was quoting shit I wrote before I really was a Raymond Washington historian. He was quoting shit that I had just learned, and all of it wasn't very factual, but close to the factual story. And I'm interviewing his brother and his sister-in-law and some of his homies and wrote that article. But I hadn't done no in-depth research or investigation yet. You know what I mean? I hadn't met the Jimmy Lavenders and the Honchos yet. You know what I mean? So dude quoting a young Kev Mac that didn't have a wide range of information on Raymond. So that let me know that was some bullshit. That let me know dude didn't know a whole lot. You know what I mean? In fact, I don't even know if he really knew when Raymond Washington went to prison, which I found out later. I knew around when, but later on, I found out exactly when Raymond went to prison. You know what I mean? So, it's just a whole joke when we start thinking because somebody's white or because somebody's law enforcement that they have the information that we seek. Seldom do we see a young, light-skinned Negro from the hood and think he know what he's talking about. Like, I always go back to Frog. I always go back to Triple OG, Bounty Hunter Frog from the Nickerson Garden, who was telling me stuff about Raymond that I knew wasn't true and wasn't accurate. And Frog's out talking me and arguing me down, and I let him have that because I'm not good at arguing. I'm not good at over talking nobody. So I let him have that. Eventually, Frog found out he was wrong on some of those things. And that's Frog's maturity and Frog being a man to admit that he was wrong. But I could have saved you 2 years, 3 years, Frog, because I was trying to tell you a long time ago, man. But so for dude to write a book and be quoting Kev Mac like 17 years information that I had like 15 years ago, it was like, wow, 2007 info and earlier than that. It was like, wow to me, like, nigga, I could have wrote the book. The family could have had me write the book. That's when I could see good and I could type all day. I could have wrote the damn book, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, whatever, you know. I just don't enjoy the book, you know what I mean? I can't endorse the book personally, you know what I mean? But if you bought it or you plan on buying it, that's good for you. But to me, it was a goofy. Cobb got locked up. Don't know what happened. Now some people say got smoked, but he could be out of town. What up, Big Devil? What's going on, man? You missed the takeover on the Goob show, bro. Yes, sir. Big Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, you could look at it as a fiction book, I guess. You know, hood fiction, right? I look at it as he wasn't no better or more informed than I was, right? That's how I look at it. And I was in my basically infancy stages of really getting the truth about Raymond Washington. You know, one of the oldest films I seen on Raymond Washington was back when they had DVDs, Gangster King, by Alex Alonso and Batman. That was pretty good for back then. That was good. That was one of the first things I seen on Raymond. But of course, me being who I was and me having a Crip on my block that I looked up to growing up, who claimed Raymond Washington was his cousin, I had heard stories about Raymond way back then. As a kid, as a teenager, I would hear all the Raymond Washington stories. I don't know if they was all true or not, but it was actually somebody that knew Raymond. Whether or not he was really his cousin, I've never found out, but he definitely knew Raymond and definitely knew Tookie. His brother had a fight with Tookie at Centinela Park. And I know another dude that got into it with Tookie at Centinela Park as well. So I used to hear about them dudes as teenagers, man. I don't do much really remember that old Alonzo video about that, okay. But I do. That's all I'm saying was I think they were like the first people that I seen put something out on Raymond. I don't think Raymond was making the newspapers back in 78, 79. But of course, Tookie made the newspaper numerous amounts of times because of the execution, the leader of the Crip allegations, and founder of the Crips, and all that stuff. Tookie had lots of articles after writing children books, peace protocols, stuff like that. The movie Redemption, the books, all of that. Break on them, kid. Break on them. Boy, Tookie would have laughed at me if I broke on somebody. Tookie might have hit me in my chest and caved it in back then. Yep, Nobel Peace Prize as well. Yes, sir. I haven't seen no videos of Raymond talking or doing anything, so I'm unaware of anything like that. No Monster Cody projects in the pipeline. All right, I just got a message from Goob. He gained 20 subscribers tonight. Good looking out, y'all that subscribe to Goob's channel tonight. I'm glad I can help Goob out, man. I always say, scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I just thought it'd be a good thing to help Goob out since he's consistent and he's persistent. And he also always here in my chat room and he calls me, texts me. So I thought, why not help Goob? But Goob didn't ask me for no help. Goob didn't ask me to do anything for him or reach out for and help him. I just thought that would be the right thing to do because Goob had been so cool and a student. So why not? You know what I mean? That's what friends do. So congratulations, Goob, on your new 20 subscribers, man. And your highest viewership during a live, man. That's what I'm talking about. Absolutely, Mike Marks, and I say it all the time, man. We all help each other around here. I know for sure a lot of you guys have helped me out in the past. And so, when I can, I always say when I can, I reach back, I help people. And some people in the comment section know that to be true. I also honor my bets, win or lose. So if anybody in here bets me or anybody else in here, I hope that you honor your bets. I hope you're not just no bullshitter that come up in here and try to get over on somebody. Henny God, that's what's up, man. I don't know. You better check. You better check to see if I'm still subscribed to your channel. Cause I went through cleaning house one day, man. I said, man, I don't want to follow all these people, man. I unsubscribed to almost everybody I was following, man. Cause I'm like, man, YouTube is full of bullshit, man. And I didn't even know half the people I was following. So I said, let me cut that out. I don't know these people, man. And then some of them dudes was dropouts. I'm like, they drop out the Mexican Mafia, I gotta drop out their channel from their subscriber list. So a lot of stuff I went and deleted off of my YouTube, bro. So Henny God, Go check and see if I still follow you, man. On account of how swole I was, they started calling me Big Miz. Hey, man, I was on swole and my name was Miz, so they started calling me Big Miz. Yeah, Henny guy got a channel, man. He plays video games on his channel and shit. And he ignores the people in the comment section because he be so into his video game and shit. But they was kind of funny. I enjoyed a couple lives over there. They got jokes and they go in and they invite an old man to play them, but I don't know how to play the video game. I don't know how to hook up a video game or none of that, right? Lakers are trash this year, but they're number 7 in the West, so they still around. They still on deck. No matter how hard you hate on them, no matter how bad you think they are, they still number 7 in the West. Still got time to improve on that. I didn't watch none of FG's interview, bro. I kind of look at the comments. Everybody else called me and talk about it, so I feel like I watched it. I feel like I watched all of his best interviews because people call me and talk to me about them. And I've talked to some homies. I've talked to some Damus from Watts. I've talked to some Damus from Compton. I talked to some Crips from my own hood. And they all done fair time with FG. So they know FG and they not saying anything bad about FG. The worst I heard about was, why is he just now talking about this stuff? That's the worst I heard. Heard he wasn't really talking about it in the feds when he got locked up. So that's about it, man. But no assassination of his character or his reputation at all. I didn't see the Lowell interviews, and I actually want to see the Lowell interviews, man. I ran across a few of them in the hole. And I don't know that they were solid. I don't know that they was reputable or respectable, but I do know they had stories. And I do know that they stayed down with the green light on them. I do know that. And so I'm kind of interested in what Lowell's talking about. Once upon a time, I wanted to interview some Lowells. I'm sorry, Davin Knight, that you feel that way. I'm sorry, bro. We all ain't the same. We all got our own styles and our own lanes and stuff like that. And it is what it is, man. Everybody has a right to like and not like whoever it is. I'm sure a lot of people that watch other people's channels don't like KevMac or don't like my journalism, you know what I mean, or my character. But it is what it is. It comes with the territory, man. Everybody don't watch Fox TV, they watch CNN. Everybody don't watch CNN, they watch Fox or MSNBC. You know what I mean? And if you don't like none of them, you watch the news over in other countries that actually keep it more real, right? And actually don't suck up to American media, right? So that's the good thing about having multiple media outlets, right? Good looking out, OG Goat. I appreciate those comments every time. I want to see Lowell's story, man. So I will, when I have time, when I free up some time, maybe after the weekend, I want to go check out the Lowell story, man. Absolutely. Get them Jenks subscribe. We got Henny got a new subscriber tonight as well. That's what's up, man. 99.9% is propaganda. I don't believe the number's that high, but I absolutely agree with you. I agree that the majority, which would be at least 51%, is propaganda. But I'll probably go around the 75 to 80% range. Maybe even 85%. 75 to 85%, I believe, is propaganda. Some of it's just truthfulness, and I believe every outlet has a right to push their truth. I'm not talking about propaganda, I'm talking about their truth. Whether we believe it's propaganda or not is another story, but Sometimes you have to push your truth, man. Good looking out, Detroit. We got a few subscribers from Detroit up in the building. I know Digital West is from Detroit. I believe Joe Farrow is from Detroit. Shout out to the D. Who was the best baseball player to come out of Detroit? Well, that played for the Detroit Tigers. You remember Ron LaFleur? Ron LaFleur was fast as hell. I'm gonna teach you how to hook the game up, kid. First of all, you gotta teach me what game to get. I need the game first. It's gonna be a rematch. Chief versus Bucks again. My prediction, calling it. All right, all right. Before the season, I called that too. But once the season began, I no longer believe the Chiefs and Buccaneers will be playing each other. I'm trying to tell you, Mike Marks. I'm trying to tell you, bro. Sweet Lou Whitaker. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. But you can't forget Miguel Cabrera, though. What about Tony the Tiger? Black Warrior Spirit. Kevmac, we started a black-owned program to get more of our black people back in the fighting arts game. You are a motivator, my brother. I appreciate it, man. You know, when y'all get cracking, y'all get popping, y'all get popular, invite me on as a host to maybe introduce the main event, introduce the fighters in the ring, or you do a documentary, you can call me and ask me what I think about it. Include me, brother. Include me, man. Kev, how long you been doing this? You should be a sports journalist. I don't know, man. I don't know how long I've been going live. Maybe 3, 4 years. Maybe 4 years on live, maybe. Yes, that's him. Big Tony Clark. Tony Clark. That boy had stick, didn't he? Cali to the Bay. I used to hate that. When I used to hear people say from the Bay to LA and all, I used to be mad, like, nigga, F the Bay. Like, man, I don't care about no Bay, nigga. But I embrace it now. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You guys got some classic hip hoppers, classic rappers from up out of there. Y'all got the classic language from out of there. Y'all got the smoothest collar poppers in America. Y'all got the Golden State Warriors, the Oakland A's, the Bash Brothers. Good thing the Traders got up out of there. San Francisco 40 Niners. San Jose Sharks. Y'all got my baby mama up there. Shout out to the Bay, man. Shout out to the Bay. Shout out to the Monique Hills and the Shaniquas. Shout out to all y'all, man. My man Too Short. Pimp Central, right? Filmo Slim. Kev, do you have a top 5 for pitchers in Major League Baseball? Is this current or in my lifetime or in the history of the game or what? I'll tell you right now, Babe Ruth is not in my top 5, nothing. He might be in my top 5 looking like the most out of shape baseball player ever. I like the Rocket, Roger Clemens, Nolan Ryan back in the day, J.R. Richards. What's my guy from St. Louis Cardinals? Come on, y'all, help me out. Gibson, what's the name? Help me out. Josh Gibson. Y'all too slow on that. Y'all not baseball fans. I like Pedro Martinez. That's 5. I'll stop there. But what's my boy from the Negro Leagues? Bob Gibson. What's my boy from the Negro Leagues, though? Come on, man. Y'all help me out. Y'all help me out. Satchel Paige. Satchel Paige, man. Satchel Paige has a hell of a story. I don't know how they don't have multiple movies about that dude. Like you give Roger Maris a movie, you know. How you Satchel Paige don't have a movie? The boy was a beast. Like the boy will tell his outfield, y'all go in the dugout and he strike you out. Like who does that? Satchel Paige was a beast, and you know what's crazy? Satchel Paige had family that lived on my street. Right, like when you get to the corner, the Crips was right there, and then on the other side of the Crips, Satchel Paige had family over there. So I would hear stories from Big Joe Paul, and he got a nephew, Dante, one of the homies from the hood, and I would hear these stories about Satchel Paige, and I'm like, damn, man, I wish Satchel Paige was in my family. Like, I want to share them stories. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I used to tell dude, man, you got to go get that memorabilia. You got to have some autographs from dudes. You got to have something like Satchel Paige is a family member, man. So I've always been intrigued by Satchel Paige, man. He was a beast. Verlander was cold, yeah, but he's not my top five. But Verlander was cold. I like Roger Clemens and Randy Johnson, man. Randy Johnson was a beast, man. He was tough. He was a cold pitcher, man. 6'10", 6'9", 6'10" pitcher, left-handed. Boy, he was a cold pitcher, man. Yeah, I said Pedro Martinez. He had a cold curveball, man. And he'll fight you. He didn't care how old you was. He was going to fight you. MLB wanted to outlaw Satchel Paige. Of course. They didn't even want him to play in the Negro Leagues, man. What's funny is I always heard the 60s and Browns was baseball hoods. Why is that? I don't know, but a lot of 60s or people that grew up in the 60s play baseball at Harvard Park. So you got a great point. The 60s invaded Harvard Park as kids, man. That's where they grew up playing ball. Some dudes learn how to play at Harvard Park. So they go back a while, man, to be able to play in them parks without having no issues. But only Western really separated us from Harvard Park to the 60s. Randy, the only pitcher to knock a bird out the air. You remember that? They was mad at Randy for that. And Randy Johnson was sling 100-mile-per-hour fastball without an issue, man. It's probably kicking his ass now, though. He probably still got to get his shoulder rubbed down and iced down after games that he's not even playing in. He probably watch a game on TV and the shoulder start hurting, man. Jack Tatum was a hard hitter. Darryl Stingley's son or something is going to the NFL or something like that. Did I read that right? Jack Tatum paralyzed Darryl Stingley, but his son, I believe, Junior, is going to the league right now. I'm surprised Harvard Park stayed Bloods. They are surrounded by Crips. Well, Harvard Park, those are the original Brims. So really the originals are usually going to stay and stick around. The VNGs, the Six Deuces, they're going to stay around. The 5'9" is a different story, but some of the 5'9" migrated to Harvard Park. But for the most part, where your main territory is, you're going to keep that. The 5'9" Brims was over where the Hoovers was too thick for them, right? They didn't have a park right there, so that was a different story. It's his grandson, but I believe he's a junior, so maybe he got his dad's name, but he didn't have Daryl's name or some shit. I believe it said junior. So I don't know how that works. Maybe he's the second, he's a junior. I don't know. I have to look for that. You think they will ever let? I thought Barry Bonds should go in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot, but of course they wasn't going to let no nigger that allegedly used steroids, took shots in his buttocks. They just couldn't do it. They really truly didn't like Barry Bonds for two reasons. Let me tell you the facts on Barry Bonds. They didn't like Barry Bonds because he was black. They didn't like Barry Bonds because he was a great player. But they really didn't like Barry Bonds for these other two reasons. Because Barry Bonds said all he wanted to do was break the Great White Hope's records. That was a no-no. You don't do that in a Major League Baseball. That's still a American pastime. You don't do that. You don't shoot down the legendary white athlete. You just don't do that in Major League Baseball. And then the other reason, he was shitty toward the journalists, and you can't do that because they the ones that vote for you. So when you're cocky, when you're standoffish, it'll come back and get you, man. It'll come back and get you, bro. In baseball, for sure. You know, they act like he committed a cardinal sin, but they cannot prove he used steroids. I told y'all, I don't buy into that his head grew big overnight and in a year and all that shit, because my head did it. I ain't using no damn steroids. So I don't believe in that his head grew big overnight shit. Barry was a skinny kid on the Pirates. So of course as he got older and gained weight, his head was gonna grow, nigga. What you thought he was gonna have a peanut head and a big body? So I don't believe in that shit. I used to wear a size 7. I wear a 7 and 5/8 now. That's how big my head got, nigga. That's what comes with weight, nigga. They just was hating on Barry Bonds, man. I'm gonna tell you. Matter of fact, one day, it's so much I want to do. I got pictures of Barry Bonds when I used to go to Dodger games. When I had season tickets, I would take pictures of a lot of the stars on other teams. And let me tell you this, man. When I would go out in the pavilion, when the Dodgers played the Giants, I would sit in the pavilion because I wanted to be back there by Barry Bonds. And so, man, I kid you not. If you grew up in LA and you're a baseball fan, you know the crowd is mostly white until all the Mexicans became the majority in LA, right? So now you got whites and Mexicans at Dodger Stadium. You're only going to see a few black people, probably less than the fingers I got on two hands at a Dodger game, right? So I would be in the bleachers and they would be calling Barry Bonds monkey and nigger and saying F you. They was going hard on Barry Bonds, man. And no matter how mad you get, no matter if you stand up and talk shit back, it was too many whites and too many Mexicans at them games. You wasn't going to be able to bust a grape at a Dodger game unless it was one-on-one, you know. Unless it was somebody sitting next to you or sitting behind you that wanted that fade. But as San Francisco Giant fans, you just ain't going to get away with no shit like that at Dodger Stadium. But yeah, they hated Barry Bonds, man. And they weren't journalists. He wasn't accused of using steroids yet. They just hated him because he was a great black baseball player, man. I'm telling you, man, that's all it was. Real talk. That's all it really was. They hated the dude, man. So I still was surprised that he wasn't first ballot. Definitely thought second ballot, they're forgiving him. All is forgiven. Nah. Mm-mm. No, they still hate Barry Bonds, man. Who would get in first? Mark McGwire, of course. Sammy Sosa doesn't even deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. But Bonds would be my favorite player, man. I think Bonds was one of the all-time greats, definitely of my lifetime. Of course, you got the Hank Aaron's and the Willie Mays, but I like a lot of those Latin players, man. You got a lot of good Latin players that were really good in baseball, man. Kevin Mitchell was hot. He had a glove. He had a glove and he had a stick. I like Kevin Mitchell. He was cool. He's not my top 5, but Kevin Mitchell was a good player. Daryl Strawberry grew up in the 60s, brother. Go watch Mumpy's interview. Mumpy tells you about the strawberries and the homies. Go check out Mumpy's interview on kevmacvideos. A-Rod was one of my favorites once upon a time. I liked A-Rod. I thought A-Rod was a well-rounded, great baseball player. Absolutely, A-Rod would be one of the ones that I actually liked a lot. This is when I stopped liking A-Rod. When A-Rod got that $250 million contract and then he stayed hurt and struck out and couldn't field. He just couldn't do nothing right. So I didn't like that. I thought A-Rod should have gave some money back or played more games. I didn't like that. And then when he get caught doing steroids, I'm like, man, you the worst. You a bum. You a straight bum, man. You deceived the public. You ain't shit. But you got that $250 million contract, boy. You a bad nigga to get that 250 though. But he tanked it. He tanked it, man. I mean, I can't be mad at a man that gets Madonna and Jennifer Lopez and any woman he wants in America. He could go to any Latin country and America and get just about any woman he want, man. He ain't even got to do nothing but walk in the room, man. The money is the icing on the cake. Deion Sanders wasn't no good baseball player, but he was an exciting baseball player. I pulled for him. I liked him. I was really pulling for Deion Sanders, especially when he was on not the Braves, but the Cincinnati Reds. Ken Griffey Jr. was definitely one of the best. Roberto Clemente, I'm telling you, one of the great Latin players for the Pittsburgh Pirates, man. They had some good players come up out of Latin countries, bro. Yeah, Bo Jackson was a good baseball player. Bo Jackson had an arm out of this world. He had speed, he had stick, all of that, man. I remember I was watching the game one day. And before the game, Bo Jackson said, I don't remember if it was Bo Jackson's birthday or his mother's birthday. I'm not sure on that. But he told his mom, I made a home run for you. He hit 3 home runs that day. Bo was definitely a great baseball player. He was a great football player too. He was a great athlete. Bobsled. So was what's my boy Herschel Walker. Him too. Ozzie Smith was, see, when I was young, Ozzie Smith and Gary Templeton, they were like the great black shortstops, man. Them dudes were exciting. Like, you got up on Saturday or was it Sunday to watch baseball, to watch Ozzie Smith and Gary Templeton, man, the San Diego Padres and the St. Louis Cardinals. The longest yard. I don't know if well, I guess Rocky, longest yard. Would Penitentiary count as a sports movie? They box, right? Bo on Tecmo Bowl was just running everybody over, right? Well, I done an hour, man. I'm going to get up out of here, Mac Kids and Maniacs. I will be doing something with the Sprung book. I'll figure it out. Still Sprung is the title. It may go on the website. It may go in some grab bags for the memberships on the Blue Channel. But y'all take it easy. Thanks for watching, man. Appreciate you guys' support. Appreciate all you guys that tune into the Goob Show. You know, we're a team up in here. We're a family. This is a movement. And I will have some movement clothing line and some KMV loyalty clothing coming probably in about a month from now. Y'all take it easy, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.